Hello again, it's Gary, the bumbling beekeeper. Today's April 23rd, 2012, so it's been exactly 1 year ago that I got started in beekeeping. So this is the original hive. Of course, the original bees have been completely replaced by these newer bees. I requeened back in the fall, so these bees are genetically different than the package bees that I started out with. Those bees came from California. Well, these bees are the result of a local queen from D&B Queen Farms here in the Poulsbo area. I'm going to do a full hive inspection today. Hopefully they're starting to build up some honey up here in the honey super. The main source of pollen and nectar right now and for the last 3 weeks has been the big leaf maple trees. This hive is sitting in a fruit orchard, but the bees really prefer the abundance of pollen and nectar coming from these big leaf maple trees that surround the orchard. So about 9 days ago I transferred all of the frames into these newer boxes. The idea of that is to give the old boxes a chance to dry out. So I took them out, cleaned them, and they've been drying for a week. And I'll use those in a few days I'll be getting 2 new packages. So I'll reuse those old boxes now that they've been cleaned and dried out. Bees are doing very well. So let's get going with the hive. Okay, time to get going with the hive inspection. A lot of people ask me, how often do I get stung? Well, I've never been stung while I'm inspecting the hive, whether I'm using the full suit or just the veil. As long as I smoke them, they're okay. I've been stung 4 times in a year, and each time it's when I was just being clumsy around the hive, and one time a bee flew down the back of my shirt and stung me. Those type of things, but only 4 times out of a year. That's not bad. And good news is I was concerned I would be allergic to bees the same way I am to yellow jackets and wasps. I'm extremely allergic to those, but bee stings don't bother me that much, so I'm able to continue with the beekeeping without too much concern. These are carniolan bees. They tend to be very gentle. They do well here in the Pacific Northwest. They survive the winter very well. Okay, so this is a honey super that I placed on here a week ago. So it'll be interesting to see what we have going on here. Give a little bit of smoke inside the hive. I'll be really surprised if I do have any honey in here. Let's see, frame 1, empty, 2 empty, 3 empty, starting to build a little propolis on them, 4 empty, 5 empty, 6 empty, 7 empty, 8 empty. So nothing going on yet in this honey super. It is a little early. I had my hopes up, but nothing yet. That just means that bees are busy working on the brood, so they're passing through this queen excluder okay. So that's good news. Okay, so give these a little puff of smoke. Alright, so top brood box. This outer frame usually has nothing. Okay, as usual, nothing. But beautiful bees They're just crawling down there as a result of the smoke. So place this here, frame 2. Heavy. This is going to be pretty full. Frame 2. They are storing nectar, pollen. Very heavy with nectar. So this is going to be honey from the maple trees. Lots of pollen here. So this is all food stores. So that's a good sign. That means that they probably are going to be able to start using the honey super shortly. Right now the apple trees haven't bloomed yet, but everything else is in bloom. Peaches, pears, plums are in bloom. Wild huckleberries are starting. A little bit of burrcomb on the bottom. So frame 3, lots of honey being stored, pollen. Lots and lots of pollen here. So all of this is honey, pollen in the middle, and more honey on the outside. On to frame 4. Another very heavy one. Brood. No. Yeah, this brood. Pupa. I'll see if I can spot the queen. Now there's brood, there's burrcomb being built on the bottom of the frame. Now look here on this bottom, lots of drone. I have not seen any drones yet, but here they come. They're going to be hatching in a few days. I don't know if I can focus in yet, but lots of drone right there. Drones, and one drone is ready to hatch. Yeah, so tomorrow or the next few days, all this is drones down here. This is regular brood, worker brood. So brood here in the center, pollen, lots of pollen on the sides for food. Okay, same thing on this side. It's not a real wide pattern of brood. Brood at all different, I can see eggs, I can see brood at all different stages of development. I would expect the queens here, but I don't see her yet. But frame 4, very full of brood. Frame 5. This is another warm day. Yesterday was the first day it's been above 70 degrees in 7 months, so they're really enjoying this warm weather. Okay, more brood. Mainly cap brood, but also pupa. Some of them just a few days from emerging. This is an interesting piece of burrcomb here. Take that off of there. Okay, this is a nice pattern. Honey on the sides, beautiful. Brood in the middle. I really think the queen's on this one, so I'll take a closer look. Same thing on the other side. Brood at all stages. This is a beautiful pattern. Beautiful brood pattern. See this whole area? Brood on the side, honey and pollen. I see some drone cell on the bottom, just like on the other frame. Okay, frame 6. Loaded with brood. mainly capped, but lots of stages. Beautiful brood pattern. Oval shaped brood. Pollen and honey in the corners. The queen has moved from the lower box into the upper box as expected. That's very good. I had rotated the boxes 3 weeks ago. This is mainly honey, not everything, brood, honey, lots and lots of pollen. Capped honey on top. This is beautiful. Frame 8. Capped honey, pollen, mainly nectar. Okay, nectar and pollen. So they've just recently filled out this new frame. Here's another frame 9 is a new frame. Nothing on that yet. Frame 10, nothing there yet.